The Nationals are 1 win away from the postseason. Ross Detweiler looks to deliver the start that puts his team over the top and into the playoffs. Dodgers, Nats, coming up on Masson. You know the guys are excited. Good to see Wilson Ramos in uniform. Hanley Ramirez, 4 RBIs in this series. So Tyler Moore, Matt Kemp getting ready for a big battle tonight. Ian Desmond has a birthday. So does Steve Lombardozzi. Happy birthday. How about a clincher? Brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by the Virginia Lottery. We'll play anything, anywhere, anytime. We're game. Beautiful night in D.C. for baseball again. It's going to be in the low 70s. Skies mostly clear. Ross Detweiler, who's pitched so well at home this year and throughout his career, on the hill for the Nats. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Very comfortable. Ideal night. Little breeze blowing out toward the left field corner. And the Dodgers hitting .249. They're 13th in the league in runs, and they're second from the bottom in home runs. Luis Cruz, though, has been a tough customer in this series. He's 4 for 9 with 3 doubles. And he's on a 5-game hitting streak with 7 base hits, and he's batting .300. Ross Detweiler, 3 games, 2 career starts against the Dodgers. Good ERA of 3.77. And a record of 0-1, and he'll have a tough lineup to face tonight.
He's coming off that outing in Atlanta on Friday where he went toe-to-toe with Chris Medlin. And the Nats lost that game 2-1, gave up just 1 run on 7 hits, over 6 innings, struck out 5, walked 1 through 94 pitches, 68 for strikes. Let's go STG inside the numbers. Check out what Ross is featuring tonight. Fastball, curveball change. Fastball averaging 92.7 miles an hour. 2-seam, 4-seam. The 2-seam will sink. Got a good curveball and change to go with it. If you remember last time out, the curveball was great. To find out why employees choose STG, visit stginc.com. Let's do some Mazda defensive alignment tonight for the Nats behind Ross Detweiler. Morse, Harper, Worth in the outfield. Desmond Zimmerman on the left side. Espinoza, LaRoche on the right side. And Kurt Suzuki doing the catching. Brought to you by your DC area Mazda dealers. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. What do you drive? Bob, take it away.
Thank you, sir. There were boos for the third base umpire when he was introduced. Mike Winters is the home plate umpire. He's got the crew chief thing going. 23 years in the big leagues. Mark Wegner, Brian Knight, and Alan Porter around the bases. In fact, that call last night causing lots of national controversy today. 7:07 first pitch. It's right in there from Ross Detweiler to Mark Ellis, who went 2 for 9 with a walk in the doubleheader yesterday. Ellis at 265. Outfield around to the right. The Detweiler throws one up and in on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-2.
Well, Davey Johnson said that Alan Porter actually apologized to him in the course of the game last night, said that he missed the call.
Wow.
Talked to Don Mattingly before the game today, and I said, what in the world did you tell him to get him to count that run? He said, I knew he missed it, so I went out there and said, does that run count?
Swing and a miss. That 3 pitches counts for strikeout number 1. Detweiler comes out on the attack.
And I think Don Mattingly, seeing that Alan Porter didn't make that call initially last night, didn't point at the plate, didn't wave off the run, said, there's my chance, went out there and argued it and got the call.
Yes, he did. Got the run, got the win. By the way, the Dodgers are now 2.5 back in the wild card. St. Louis beat Houston this afternoon. Milwaukee had an early lead at Pittsburgh, but now they're behind 7-4, so we'll keep you updated on the playoff implication ball games, and this is one of the most important ones in baseball tonight. Shane Victorino 1 for 7, hit by a pitch, had a walk, couple of stolen bases yesterday, and he's hitting .251 overall. .230 as a Dodger, and that was a pretty good looking pitch just off the plate inside. Victorino from the right side of the plate, .291, and he has 3 career hits and 13 at bats against Ross. To Hopper, the birthday boy, Ian Desmond, 2 outs.
Let's check out last night and close the book on it real quick. The best thing about baseball is you move on. Today's a new day, but I think this play's big enough to warrant one more replay. And Don Mattingly went out there and asked Alan Porter. He thought it was a force out at home and the bases were loaded. That was the answer he gave Don Mattingly. He said, as soon as I knew they were going to talk about it, I knew we were going to get that 6th run, and it was a big one.
Oh, boy.
Never been a fan of replay, old school in that way. I think there needs to be a human element in baseball, but every day I start to change my mind a little bit more and think, hey, why not get it right? At least an eye in the sky, right? A guy up here with a buzzer on that watches the game. They could even hire me to do it, and I will not miss one all year long.
Well, you made the call before we ever saw a replay, and in your mind, that's how obvious it was. Matt Kemp, 2 walks, 3 hits, a homer, 2 RBIs in the doubleheader. Detweiler works from a 1-0 count. And that's good tail on 94 when you see a guy let go of the bat with one hand.
That home run for Matt Kemp last night was his first extra base hit in the month of September.
Well, it counted for a lot of bases. Hit it to the red seats. And now Detweiler's got a good fastball going. He's got 95 and 96 going here in the first inning. Kemp hitting at 304. Swing and a miss. On the attack with the fastball, Ross Detweiler. The Nats take on Chris Capuano in just a moment. The Nats fourth in the league in batting average, fifth in runs, second in home runs with a new franchise record after bombing a couple last night. And Ian Desmond, .516 slugging percentage, ninth in the league, and that's what he's done over the last 3 weeks. See your authorized Dodge dealer. Experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com. Check out our powerful lineup. The Nats have seen Chris Capuano 7 times. He's 3-3 with a .372 ERA career against Washington in those starts.
And last time they faced him on April 29th in LA, Capuano won that game 2-0, went 6 2/3, gave up 3 hits, struck out 9, walked 2. Let's go STG inside the numbers with Chris Capuano. You see a fastball averaging 88 miles an hour, slider, cutter, curveball, change. Guy throw any pitch in any count. Got to elevate him. Think about going the other way. To find out why employees choose STG, visit stginc.com.
Yeah, that was the 2-0 game on Sunday that gave the Dodgers the sweep in that series. He beat Gio Gonzalez, who pitched pretty well himself. Jason Worth, hitless in the doubleheader yesterday, did have a walk. He went 0 for 6 before being removed in Game 2. Davey rested some of the regulars toward the end of that game, and the guys who came in responded. Michael Morse got some things done, and the Nats almost pulled off the sweep last night. So Worth still hitting .296 and .309 since coming off the DL 41 games ago. Capuano a little bit low and in. Left-hander who's 68 and 74 career, making his 187th start, and it might surprise you to know that his career ERA is over 4.25. He was an 18-game winner for the Brewers in 05. 3 years later had Tommy John surgery.
There goes a no-hitter.
You didn't wait tonight, and Jason Worth's aboard.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting, right? Stay back and go the other way. Got a ball elevated. Good take to get to that pitch. The pitch before that was a nice two-seam fastball down the zone. Worth took it, elevated the fastball. Next pitch, line drive to rights. Leadoff man on.
So Worth now 3 for 10 career against Capuano. Bryce Harper 1 for 3 on that April Sunday in LA. Had a base hit to right. He in fact was the last batter Capuano faced in the 7th inning of that game. So that was the day that Bryce showed us he could get a solid hit off of a quality left-handed pitcher.
I think that's the day he made that running catch in right center field up against the wall in Dodger Stadium.
It was a day game.
I remember it like it was April 29th.
Well, just yesterday. Now that you get to this stage of the season, you look back and you're like, where did that 5.5 months go? At times it drags. Team's been playing well, so for the most part, it's been moving quickly. 1-1 to Harper, hitting .262. Nats have 90 steals on the year and 33 caught stealings, so a pretty good percentage of 70% or so. And even though Worth doesn't have big leads, Capuano interested in him. Luis Cruz is playing even with the bag over at third. Middle infielders double play depth. And if Harper can pull one against this lefty like he did back in April, a ton of hitting room right side. Bryce at his best though when he takes guys like this the other way. That was off speed at 78, strike 2.
Little number on Larry leadoff. He's a .463 on base percentage and 43 wins this year. And when his on base percentage is below that, it's 23 wins. So when he gets on, they win basically.
Wow. Target away from A.J. Ellis. And Harper does go the other way. It's Sky to Victorino. This time of the year, we're at twilight time here. At 7:17 local. Shane, no problem with that for the first out.
Set the defense for the Dodgers behind Chris Capuano for tonight's game. Outfield from left to right, Victorino Kemp Ethier. Infield on the left side, Ramirez Cruz. Right side, Mark Ellis, Adrian Gonzalez, and A.J. Ellis doing the catching.
Ryan Zimmerman has handled this pitcher extremely well. 6 for 10 with a homer, 2 RBIs career. Ryan, couple of hits and an RBI last night. Dodgers are going to win the season series, but the Nats have a chance to take 2 out of 3 here at home.
Donnie Baseball.
What a good hitter. You got that guy to the batter's box with the bases loaded. I think, what was it, 87? He just hit grand slam after grand slam. He was unconscious. In the air for Mark Ellis. 2 outs. And it was interesting, even with a left-hander going tonight, Davey Johnson left Adam LaRoche in the 4th spot, Michael Morse behind him. Often he will go Morse cleanup against a lefty and then LaRoche. Davey must be thinking ahead to the late innings to make the Nats tough to match up against.
Well, yeah, because Capuano was limited to left-handed hitters to a .230 average this year and a .229 average throughout his career.
There's the split for Adam LaRoche. Quite respectable against lefties. I mean, more than that. At times, very, very good. 13 RBIs in Adams' last 17 ball games. He ranks 7th in the league with 94. And he's in the top 4 with those 30 home runs, behind only Braun, Stanton, and Bruce. Tied with Alfonso Soriano with the 30. Capuano's got some swing and miss stuff going here early. When the leaves start turning, Adam LaRoche gets a lot tougher. Nats, by the way, no longer have the most wins in the league. Cincinnati won their game at the Cubs today, 5-3 behind Johnny Cueto, who's 18-9. And so they have 91. They're 91-59. The Nats are 90-58.
And Dusty Baker in the hospital last night with an irregular heartbeat. Their skipper. They're going to keep him over in Chicago one more day just to keep him under watch. Former manager Baker, if you're watching, get well.
Yeah. And Jason Worth, second base without a play. For him, that'll be number 6. For the Nats, number 91.
And got a read on Capuano. Great jump right here. Watch this. First move. Pick up your right foot. Go. Not even looking back. Straight steal all the way. Listening for sound. If as a hitter, when you're running with 2 outs, you're listening for the crack of the bat. If you don't hear it, just keep running. Rip that bag. And now he's in scoring position for LaRoche.
Dodgers shifting up the middle on LaRoche more so than they've done in the series so far. Interesting. Right-handed pitchers, they didn't shift. A lefty, they do. That's going to punch him out on a ball near the outside corner. Adam thought it was off the corner. Worth a leadoff hit. He's stranded and no score after 1. Or as it's known in Espanol, Luna. Call for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. Look at that sunset looking out toward the Blue Ridge Range. Beautiful evening in Washington, D.C. Gonzalez, Ramirez, Ethier, top of the second. The Nats need to win tonight to clinch postseason, 9 for the division as the Braves continue to hang tough. Dodgers are just not hitting this month. They did some last night in Game 2, though. And opponents, 155 against Detwiler from the left side of the plate.
Great signs.
I thought it was 1933. We're close.
Hey, it's like horseshoes. Close counts.
Okay. The thing is, that number had to be passed down from one generation to several more because, well, most of us just weren't around in 1933. Adrian Gonzalez, 3 for 8 with a walk in this series, and Detwiler goes 2-0. He's 1 for 1 career with a home run against Ross. That's a loud crack of the bat to the right side. Danny Espinosa has been playing some awesome defense on that side of the field. If that shoulder's been barking, it has not affected his D at all.
We've been playing awesome defense all year. Second base, shortstop. But when you talk about the Gold Glove, I think the right side of the Nats infield, give them 2. LaRoche and Espinosa.
And the only reason Danny has 12 errors is he had to go over to shortstop for a while when Ian Desmond was hurt for 4 to 5 weeks. Brandon Phillips, the incumbent Gold Glove guy in this league, and Danny's every bit as good as him.
Darwin Barney still have that errorless streak going? I haven't looked since the brawl, since that crazy nuts brawl.
We were laughing in the press box tonight because if there was a brawl tonight, two of the best boxing announcers in the business are in the press box. Charlie Steiner from the Dodgers and Brian Kinney from MLB is here tonight. Those guys have done a lot of boxing, but we don't expect anything like that. Nice fastball up and in. And Ross Detweiler's thrown some pitches up in the zone the Dodgers haven't been able to catch up with yet.
Well, I think that's where you go against Hanley Ramirez. When he was a Marlin, that's where the Nats pitched him. Don't let him get extended. All the hits and the damage he did last night was up the middle the other way. Pound him in. Good pitch.
3 hits, 4 RBIs in the doubleheader. Hitting .267 as a Dodger, with a pretty good ratio of 42 RBIs in 51 games. And his 90 ribbies have him in the top 10 in the league. Ross shows him one up and away on 0-2. Nice crowd. A lot of folks still coming in out in the center field gates. Breaking ball in the dirt. The beauty of getting ahead. Strikeout number 3 out of the first 5 batters.
And the beauty of establishing a mid-90s fastball in the inner half. How many times you hear me say it? If I'm a hitter and you show me 95 in, I got to cheat, leave early, open up my front side to get to it. It makes it very susceptible to the off speed. You see it right there.
Wow. Save big at Nissan's Bottom Line Sales event through October 1st. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer. They bring us the Nissan Pitch Track. Andre Ethier's on a 6-game hitting streak like Hanley Ramirez with 8 hits. 3 for 10 RBI yesterday. And career against Detweiler, 3 for 7. The Nats will play the center fielder Harper about 2.5 cuts of the grass over toward the gap on the left side. That's a foul ball.
Ball hits Suzuki right in the mask, flies off, reaches back for a new ball. Not a problem. All in one motion. Watch this. Ball off mask. That didn't feel great. By the time the mask and Suzuki come back to earth, he's already asking for a new baseball.
And Mike Winter's reaching for it.
And you have to talk slow when it's the Exmo. You never get to the end of it.
That's a good breaking ball away. He rolled over Andre Ethier, and Ross Detweiler's looking as good as he has all year. Michael Morris is back healthy, Ian Desmond, and then Danny Espinosa coming up. probably late, hoping to see something special later tonight. Bottom of the second coming up. A 20-game partial season ticket plan is now available for next year, and the schedule has been announced, so you can check out the dates you'd like. Go to nationals.com/2013 or call 202-675-NATS. Some restrictions apply. Check it out now. It's a great way to see a really good number of games at Nationals Park.
Let's check out the rally starter last night in the 8th. 6-0 at this point. Josh Beckett absolutely dealing. So for 68 pitches, that guy was on fire. Then at about 7 or 8, the whole thing unraveled. It all started with the Beast in his 14th tater of the year.
And Josh Beckett didn't know that 9 batters later he would get a no decision when Michael Morse drove in 2 more runs in that inning to tie the game.
Good inning for Morse. Good month for a lot of us.
Michael reaching out, stroking one to center for a base hit. He's back. 4 for 9 in this series now. And the Nats have their leadoff man aboard for the second time.
Yeah, that didn't feel good right here. Off the end, I don't know if it was the extension or not or the broken bat, but watch him shake the wrist right here. Yeah. So maybe a little early on the he's back, but with the hits and the way he looks swinging the bat, I guess half a beast is better than no beast at all.
Ian Desmond celebrating his 27th birthday. Steve Lombardozzi celebrating his 24th. Happy birthday to on, nobody out. And Desmond was looking down at his bat after getting that base hit before he dropped it.
Well, that's just a happy birthday to me. Right off the end. Perfectly placed line drive. So I don't know if that bat died a hero, but we're sure Michael Morse's did, and maybe 2 in the inning. Regardless, first and second, nobody out.
Now a big spot for Danny Espinosa. From the right side of the plate, hitting .287. It's been his best side all year. So 2 for 4 as a starter last night. Then he came off the bench, got another base hit in the nightcap. Dodgers pinching Mark Ellis up the middle as much as they can to keep Michael Morse close to the bag. Now he'll retreat. And Espinosa takes an off-speed pitch that misses. Espinosa to right center. Kemp setting up for the throw. This ball not very deep, and Michael Morse can't go anywhere. Number 8 man Suzuki next, and then Ross Detweiler.
And Matt Kemp did a nice job of getting behind that baseball, even though it was too shallow for Morse to tag up. Perfect form, got behind it, momentum going to third base, and a perfect throw right on the money.
Kurt Suzuki has never faced Chris Capuano. Played the first game last night. Had a really good game. Went 2 for 3. Sac fly, a couple of singles. And this is a very important early sequence in this ball game. A chance to jump out on top. We know how dominant the Nats are when they do that. You've got a guy with runners in scoring position numbers in there. 17 RBIs in 31 games in a Washington uniform.
And although it's early, you have a guy on the mound with overpowering stuff so far in this game. And Ross Detweiler.
Boy, he sure looks good. By the way, haven't mentioned the Braves tonight. They are off. They open a series at Philadelphia. The Nats will follow them in there next week. The lead is 5 in the East.
Braves are off and they still won tonight.
Yeah. They are so far ahead in the wild card race. Suzuki on 0-2 has to be hacking, and he pops it up. Umpires will call the infield fly rule on a ball about 40 feet into the outfield, caught by the third baseman Luis Cruz. So Detweiler coming up, and here's the story in the East. The Nats by 5 over the Braves. Phillies are playing at New York again tonight, and they just put a 5 on the board in the first inning. Jimmy Rollins is batting again, evidently. They've batted around. Subway sub prize on the line is the National League East. Ross Detweiler, 2 for 41 this year, 5 for 86 as a big league hitter with 3 RBIs.
That's going to be tough for Michael Morse to score should Detweiler get a knock right here. The Dodgers outfield, they all have good arms and they're all playing shallow.
Yeah, that ball would have to be a tweener halfway between the guys out there or right down a line. That's an off-speed breaking ball. Took a good block by A.J. Ellis. Rick Honeycutt alongside Don Mattingly, whose Dodgers are 5 games over 500 and now 2.5 behind St. Louis in the wild card race as they beat Houston today for a sweep. Ball way outside. Ross waved at it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Capiano's given up 3 hits already. 2 to lead off this inning, but Danny Espinosa couldn't move the runners. Suzuki popped up.
And last time out against the Cardinals, he gave up 3 home runs.
Yeah, I was looking at his home run total. He's given up 23 on the year. '34-year-old lefty from Massachusetts originally, and he graduated Phi Beta Kappa from Duke. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Detweiler on a pitch way outside strikes out. So the Nats have stranded 3, but they do have 3 hits the first time around.
Here in a scoreless ball game, and once again yesterday in the doubleheader we saw that hustle, all-in, non-stop mentality from Bryce Harper that we've seen all season long, and Davey Johnson says he would have it no other way. And the skipper has talked about how Bryce has grown throughout the season and is learning and playing smarter, whether it's in the outfield or adjusting to how guys are pitching him at the plate. And Bryce will credit all of his teammates all day long for everything that he's done so far this season.
You know, with the guys that we have on this club, you know, we got a lot of veteran guys, a lot of young guys, and you know, it's a great mix. You know, being able to, you know, look for Worth and look for LaRoche and look at all these guys that, you know, can help me every single day has been great. It's been you know, just an unbelievable year. I've had so much fun, and it's been a great first year, but you know, it's not over yet. So.
And Jason Worth, obviously a veteran who's made a big impression on Bryce in the outfield. I talked to Bryce about that catch yesterday that was literally right on top of him. He said, I have no idea how I caught that ball. Obviously, I work on defense every day in and every day out, but that one, no clue. Shane Victorino actually texted him after and said, what is going on out there? But Bryce said, you know, I try to get the best jump as I can, try to get the ball as fast as I can, and make the plays. And
we talked about that last night. When the ball's coming over your head like that with your hat, you have no idea where it is. Have a good chuckle after it. But the last probably 3-4 feet of that, he just threw his glove up where he thought the ball was going to be, and it went in. Great play.
Thanks, Christina. NFP. That's our sideline report from AFCEA.org, the association for IT pros. Luis Cruz leads off, top of the third. This guy's been a handful.
4 for 9 in the doubleheader with 3 doubles.
Nothing cheap about the hits he's had. He's been bombing the ball all over the yard. 28 years of age, out of Navajoa, Mexico. Played a couple of weeks down there last year. Last it's seen in the big leagues with the Brewers for only 17 at-bats 2 years ago. Pirates for just a handful of at-bats the 2 years before that.
And 2 stints of winter ball in Navajoa, Mexico, for Los Mayos de Navajoa. Good place.
And a ball driven to right. Jason Worth is right there. 7 straight for Ross Detweiler to start the game. He'll face A.J. Ellis and then the pitcher Capuano. Wonderful night at the ballpark to watch a game. Red porch, red loft area jammed. Nice crowd has gathered. Some folks are still showing up. 4 more on this homestand after tonight. The Brew Crew coming in.
Philadelphia 7, Mets nothing. Top of the first.
Yeah, and I've got something here that says they just scored again.
Jeremy Hefner is the first Mets starting pitcher to allow at least 6 earned runs without recording a single out in franchise history.
Ouch. Still 2 outs and 2 men on. They're leading 8-0 on 9 hits. Ryan Howard's batting for the second time, by the way. Ross Detweiler, anything but that so far, the way he's throwing the ball. And by the way, Milwaukee just got 4 in the 8th at Pittsburgh to lead the Pirates 8-7. They led 3-0 early, actually 4-0, and then trailed 7-4. Ramos Ramirez has hit his 25th in that game. McCutcheon's hit his 30th.
Score all your runs today.
Brewers were in disarray, as FP mentioned last night, with that bullpen when the Nats saw them. They're playing good baseball now. They're 3 behind St. Louis in the wild card race. And a 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, another strikeout. 4 Ks for Ross Detweiler.
Just electric stuff so far in this game from the left-hander. 95 miles an hour, 2-seamers away. Then he goes in. Maybe a little cut to that as he elevates the 3rd strike to A.J. Ellis. Simply electric so far in this game.
We face Chris Capuano, who has 5 hits this year and is a 132 career batter.
Yeah, just a few heaters. Good tempo, good rhythm. He and Suzuki working very nicely. Good pace to this game so far for Detweiler and Suzuki.
Little pop-up on the infield. Ryan Zimmerman sprinting in for the call. The catch on a foul ball. Great pitching early. Top of the order coming up.
Ball is not carrying to left tonight.
It's not going anywhere against Detweiler. Worth's been aboard. He's stolen a base. The Nats have had a leadoff man on each of the first 2 innings. By Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com, and by your local DC area Land Rover Center. How about a clincher tonight? They'll be dancing in the streets in Chinatown and down here in Southeast as well. On to the bottom of the third. We have an AT&T fact of the game for you. This is interesting. 15 since 1901 to post 3 consecutive seasons winning 10 or more games than they had the previous year. It's been a pretty amazing sequence for the Nats with the success they've had. Got it up to 80 last year, 80 and 81 with 1 game rained out. The Nationals the previous year had won 69, 59 the year before that. So there are your improvements from 09 through 2011.
10 games per year.
Yep, at least. And this year, going way beyond that by the time this baby's over.
Yeah, that one went around the right field foul pole, all the way into center, around the left field foul pole, came back, and I got it.
A very thought-provoking stat.
Yes. A very good one, nonetheless.
And they're the first team in over 100 years to do it without a deflated win total because of a work stoppage the previous year, which, you know, can come into play and really give teams improvement from one year to another. But baseball's been at labor peace for a while, and we love it. And this makes 3 innings in a row, Worth twice. The Nats get the leadoff man on base. They have 4 hits in their first 10 at-bats tonight.
Larry heading toward Lawrence, on base twice.
One more time, he'll be Sir Lawrence.
And then Dr. Lawrence when he gets on for the 4th time. Jason Worth with another base hit. Leadoff man on for the 3rd inning in a row for the Nationals.
And he's got a chance to earn a PhD by about 10:30.
Sure, I'm all for it. He's done such a good job leading off. It doesn't look the part until he gets in there and does it. And I'll tell you what, I'll put him up against anybody in that spot.
His on-base percentage now back over .390. That's low and away to Bryce Harper. Capuano got ahead of him first time and then flied him out to left. Worth swiped a bag first time, his 6th of the year without being caught. You get his wrist back where it needs to be next year. He'll be driving the ball, hitting home runs, stealing bases. Very intriguing when you think about it, and his role on this ball club now.
It's a good take.
Wow, that's a rookie take on a fastball, real close to being a strike.
Capuano looking for the ground ball. Bryce Harper saying no, that ball's got to be a little bit higher for me to swing.
Good awareness of the situation. And Harper at the last minute getting time from Mike Winters as Capuano was ready to deliver. What a good at bat this has become. 3-0. One table setter's aboard, another one trying to get on with the RBI guys coming up.
See the numbers in the month of September and the games count the most. Solid.
Making a bid for Rookie of the Year. 3-0 pitch. And he was swinging, and that was an off-speed delivery, 87.
Might have been a little cut to the fastball. It's been averaging 88, 89 tonight. Just a little cut right there. The slider will be in the low 80s. Cutter 84. So kind of in between a fastball and a cutter. 3-0. Full respect.
On the Kinetic North America pitch track. 3-1. Capuano threw over 3 times when Worth was aboard in the first. '85 RBIs waiting, then 94 behind Zimmerman.
I used to love when lefties threw over because every time they did, I was putting info in the computer on their move. They were doing me a favor, letting me read it.
Harper, right side, high hopper. Good play by Adrian Gonzalez, and Bryce able to beat the relay. That ball looked like it was heading down the right field line. Fantastic play by Adrian, who's had a really good defensive series himself.
Yeah, getting off the bag, but not too far. You see how he shuffled off right there? Wanted to protect the line with a left-handed hitter up. Jason Worth goes in hard to second base, runs a little traffic. Good hustle by Bryce Harper. And did he touch first base? Yes, he did. I thought he might have hit Capuano's foot and never got the bag, but he got it. Exchange one good base runner for another.
So I say tongue-in-cheek, you think they'd see that after last night? Here's Zimmerman, 1 on, 1 out. I'm just sad that you were not umpiring third base last night because you had it called before we ever saw a replay. Well, you got your black shirt on one night too late here, buddy.
Quite frankly, it's not that tough. It really isn't. There's no other way to put it.
You know, what do you say now that the umpire apologized to Davey Johnson during last night?
Hey, missing calls is one thing, and that happens. It's the human element. But when you weren't aware that there was a call to make, I think that's a whole other story.
Breaking ball low to Ryan. Capuano popped him up first time. Zimmerman still 6 for 11 career with a homer and 2 RBIs against this lefty. Target away. And Ryan had a right field idea on that pitch.
Had a left field idea today in BP. And ball after ball after ball in the Dodgers bullpen. Wearing out the red seats.
As we mentioned, there is a breeze blowing that way tonight.
And last night, Carp, it was the other way. Left field played huge with the wind blowing in.
There's one to the gap in left center. Bryce Harper got a great jump, and he's going to score easily. The Nats lead 1-0 on Ryan Zimmerman's 86th RBI.
Well, Bryce Harper knew this was in the gap as soon as he hit it. It was low enough. He knew where the outfield was playing, and Ryan Zimmerman just hit a ball into left center field, and it got out there in about 1 second. One hopper off the wall. You see Bryce Harper doing his thing. No way Bill Porter's stopping him. Don't even try. And the Nats score first, 66-18 when they score the first run of the game, and there's the run till they tag you offense. Great at-bat once again from the Nats third baseman.
So Harper scores easily. Zimmerman 7 for 12 against Capuano in his career. And here's Adam LaRoche. Still only one out. Hanley Ramirez right behind Zimmerman. Shortstop up the middle. A lot of hitting room left side. But they don't play the second baseman very deep. Mark Ellis just barely onto the outfield grass. Tailing inside, almost hit him. Counts even 1-1. And up the middle, it'll send Ellis to his right. Zimmerman to third, 2 down. And a two-spot opportunity, two-out opportunity in a big spot for Michael Morse. Busted his bat, got his hand rattled. Still strong enough to single up the middle, leading off the second.
Dodgers broadcast crew asked me today before the game, what is that thing Michael Morse does? It's a samurai cobra snake. You don't know about it? You haven't heard? Come on. Have you seen his bobblehead?
You know, everything in LA is so far behind us.
Geez, come on.
I mean, this is where trends start right here.
Yeah. I said, what does it mean? He said, well, it's getting his hands in the right slot, kind of keeping the weight on the backside, keeping the front hip closed. I said, when he's going good, he's digging it, he's feeling it. He'll do it for a while. When he's not going good, he'll do it, but it's kind of more token. They looked at me like I just landed from Mars. What are you talking about?
Trying to frame that one, A.J. Ellis, but the pitch was inside. 1-1 to Michael Morse. Thing about Capuano, he's already given up 5 hits. But he just doesn't throw that many pitches. Nats have been all over the bases on him here. And he's still averaging 14 to 15 pitches per inning. Things happen fast when he's throwing. Right through the catcher. It bounces off the wall. Coming home hard is Zimmerman. The Nationals lead 2-0.
I mean, that's a guy who's played in this ballpark from day one and knew that that ball had a chance of ricocheting off the rocks fast. Great read by Ryan Zimmerman at third base. You don't read this quick, you're out. Watch the jump. As soon as it got through the wickets, he knew he had to hustle because of the way the backstop is configured, and just beats it. Good hustle by A.J. Ellis to make it that close. But let's watch the ricochet. Right through the 5-hole. Comes right back to him. But a guy that's played in this park his whole career knew exactly how it was going to play. That's a hustle run, a great read from Ryan Zimmerman, who I think the most underrated part of his game is his base running.
They call it a wild pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike to Michael Morse. So a 2-out gift. And the Nats have a crooked number on the board here. Bottom of the third. With their left-hander pitching brilliantly. Counts full now to Michael. Inside the numbers with STG. Find out why employees visit STGinc.com. And against the West, I guess the office in New York can't take this one away from him.
No, Joe Torre just called. There was a hit against the Giants 2 years ago. It doesn't count.
That ball lifted to right field, and it is carrying to the track where Andre Ethier will pull it in. But the Nats have a great inning. Jason Worth led off with a base hit. Zimmerman the big double, and then he scores on a good base running play as well. So after 3, the Nats by 2. Middle innings. Jason Worth all over the bases. Ryan Zimmerman checks in with RBI number 86. And Ross Detweiler averaging just under 11 pitches per inning, just throwing the ball beautifully so far.
Fastball has been great. I mean, right out of the gate, 95, 96, good two-seam sink. Got command of it in the strike zone. He's established it. So, yeah, word travels fast in a dugout. Hey, fastball's got some hop on it. He's got good command. He's going to challenge you with it. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers go to hacking early in the count second time around. Nothing to wait around for when you got a guy pounding the strike zone with fastballs.
So we'll see if Detweiler mixes in a little breaking stuff here and there. You don't want to get away from what you're being successful with too much, though. And he darts the outside corner with 92 on Mark Ellis for a strike. That ball is scorched to left field, heading for the bullpen. Dodgers on the board. Mark Ellis, 7th of the year, on their first hit of the night.
Well, he just had a feeling they would be in attack mode second time around. And Mark Ellis got a fastball right down the middle and knew what to do with it. 7th home run of the year. When a guy's throwing that many fastballs, it's a matter of picking the side of the plate and guessing right. You look away, he throws it in, it's going to be a tough at-bat. You look in, he throws it away, going to be a rough at-bat. And if he's keeping it down with movement, it doesn't matter if you know it's coming, but that one was right down the middle.
Mark Ellis, 92nd career home run in his 11th year. That ball was really well hit, and here's Shane Victorino. Bounced out to Desmond first time. Fastball, high and tight, 1-1. For the Dodgers, second homer of this series, their 101st of the year. Only the Giants have hit fewer.
But see that pitch right there, if Detweiler can stay into right-handers, opens everything else up. The two-seamer away, the curveball. Will you show me 93 to 96 on the inner half? I have to cheat to get to it. Most guys do.
He committed, looked like a swing, and Victorino is out. Suzuki just asked to tag him.
So fastball in, right? Victorino hit it foul down the left field line, 93 miles an hour. Now I got to get to the fastball in. He's going to pound me in there again, right? Wrong. Curveball down in the dirt. Victorino opens up his front side to get to that fastball in and can't hold up on the curveball. You see the front shoulder go, the hips go. That's looking for heat on the inside because Detweiler established a good fastball in the inner half. Opens up everything else.
Here's Matt Kemp. Suffered a similar fate back in the first inning. Pretty good rip at that pitch up, 93. Russ Detweiler, 5 strikeouts tonight. Fastball topping out early at 96.
See, that's okay, though. That's a good miss. Even though you fall behind the count 2-1.
Adrian Gonzalez waiting. By the way, Milwaukee got another run in the 9th at Pittsburgh. Pirates are batting bottom of the 9th inning, trailing 9-7. Milwaukee trying to come in here with a lot of momentum. That's good jammage by Ross Detweiler. Foul ball out of play to the right. Inside the numbers with Kia. Started out like he might be an MVP. They were chanting that at Dodger Stadium back in April when we were there. Injuries, a lot of problems since. Kia has a full lineup of high quality, stylish, and dependable vehicles. To learn more, visit kia.com.
Boy, the command, the tempo, the control of the fastball curveball combination, the working hitters on the inner half to get to the outer half and off speed, have been just outstanding for Detweiler and Suzuki in this game.
And a 2-2 pitch is popped up. Adam LaRoche over there. Danny Espinosa behind him. He'll make the call with the ball twisting its way back fair. 2 outs. Win a signed game-worn jersey right off the back of a national player or coach. Raffle tickets sold today until Sunday at the Dream Foundation kiosk in the Centerfield Plaza. All proceeds benefit Nats charities. Winners to be announced Sunday at the game. You don't have to be here Sunday to win.
And you can have Bob Carpenter's shirt that he wore for the doubleheader yesterday.
It's standing up back at my place on its own right now. Now that's a prize. Adrian Gonzalez bounced out to Danny Espinosa first time out. Suzuki had to go reach high and wide to grab that one. Good pitch on 2-0 right to the outer edge. You'd love to see Hanley Ramirez leading off the 5th inning. That's ball 3. And a ball driven over the extended glove of Ian Desmond. So Ramirez will bat with a man on. Now the Dodgers have their second base hit, and the tying runs aboard.
A pretty swing right there from Adrian Gonzalez. You get ahead in the count 3-1. You're looking fastball, leg kick, foot down early, and going the other way. Most of in that sequence, the fastballs were away to Gonzalez. Good piece.
Couple of really talented first basemen visiting right there. Hanley Ramirez struck out first time. Ross got ahead of him, threw that breaking ball in the dirt, and here he goes first pitch 94 and misses. Close. And on a troublesome count, he gets a pop-up. It's Espinosa again. And a good job working through the heart of the Dodgers order after the Mark Ellis home run by Detweiler. In the lead, George Tom Abe. Teddy running well.
You know, he's been running really well lately. He looks like he's getting stronger and stronger to me. You just wonder.
You think he's...
You just wonder. I don't know if he's in such good shape. I mean, you see him just fall off there at the end, that he might win a race someday.
So the Geico President's Race won by TJ. Hey, there's a bunch of folks here tonight from the Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. They have their upcoming Light the Way 5K run, walk, and have fun race here at Nationals Park while the Nats are in St. Louis. It's on Saturday, September 29th at 9 a.m. You can find out more. It's a wonderful event. Log on to CLB, Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind, CLB.org. Mark Lerner and the Lerner family heavily involved with his good friend Kathy Miller, her husband Stuart. They have all their volunteers and some of the racers here at the ballpark tonight, and looking forward to a great event.
Very cool.
Yeah, they actually had it on a game day here last year, but the Nats will be gone this time around. You get to walk around or run around the Nationals Park and the Capitol Riverfront, and you get a victory lap on the field when it's all over. And all goes to a great cause, the Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. The Light the Way 5K.
So many good sounds at a major league ballpark.
Yeah, sounds of baseball.
Best sport for that, for sure.
3-0 to Ian Desmond, who already has a base hit tonight. Is he ripping on his birthday 3-0? September is a late part of the month is for Nats birthdays. Ryan Zimmerman next week. Desmond Lombardozzi today. Hard to walk that guy. That was a changeup on 3-1. And Ian Desmond's aboard for the second time.
Fourth inning in a row. The Nats have had their leadoff man aboard.
Thus, Chris Capuano has been off the stretch a lot. That's his first walk. He's a control guy with a better than 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Danny Espinosa batted with 2 men aboard, nobody out last time. Flied out to center. So the Nats would like to re-grab that 2-run lead that Mark Ellis just took a bite out of. That's looking good. Left field line. Will it make it deep into the corner? It will. And that'll give Ian Desmond the opportunity to score. Ball gets away. Espinosa stays at second base, and now he goes to third. 3-1 Nats, and another runner 90 feet away.
Boy, a simple ground ball down the left field line that Espinosa hit hard. See him pulling the hands in. Turns into an adventure for the Dodgers. You see the rotation of the baseball, and Ian Desmond just cruising around third base. Because of that hamstring, not really opening it up, and the throw gets away from Ellis, hits the bricks. And Capuano in the right spot, but the weird bounce allows Espinosa to advance to third base.
We've got Hanley Ramirez on that relay, so that would be E6. And now with the infield in, Suzuki could make it 4-1. Target is in to jam him, and he'll take it low. Six hits by the Nats already. And once that ball got down into the deep corner, Desmond was going to score. He just hoped it wouldn't hit that little railing out there and bounce out in front of Victorino.
I'm trying to see where this ball hit to have the weird ricochet. You can't quite catch it right there. Might have got a sign, but that's a healthy bounce off the backstop that allowed Espinosa to advance 90 feet.
Yeah, originally Danny was holding at second, then he alertly got himself 90 more feet. 1-1 to Suzuki, who has 17 RBIs for the Nats. Inside, ball 2.
I don't think I've ever seen a shortstop and a third baseman play as close with the infield in as Hanley Ramirez and Luis Cruz are right now. And Cruz is walking up to the grass. Look how close they are. 5.5 holes closed, but the middle wide open.
Suzuki waits for that one and hits it out of play right side. Kurtz had a good series, 2 for 4 with an RBI, hitting in front of Detweiler tonight. Fouled out first time up this evening. Milwaukee, by the way, went on to win that game at Pittsburgh 9-7. So now the Brewers are back to 2.5 out in the wild card race. They're tied with the Dodgers at the moment. And they were trying to jam Suzuki. Kurt able to fight it off.
Kurt Suzuki's been clutch in the National League for the Washington Nationals. Check that out. Runners in scoring position this season. In the National League, .393 average. 1 homer, 14 RBI.
Capuano, quick look over at Espinosa. And a 2-2 to Suzuki. In the air. out of play. Suzuki appeared to get something in his eye. Got time quickly from Mike Winters.
The old something in your eye. See where the catcher's setting up trick.
Those catchers. Nothing gets by them except the occasional wild pitch.
There's a top of the order.
Well, they've been on base a couple of times. Jason Worth having a really good night. He changed the tone of this game early for Capuano. 2-2, target away. Suzuki to right center. What a good at bat. Ethier catches it. Nothing he can do. Espinosa scores. The Nationals lead 4-1 on the epitome of a professional at bat.
That's just good baseball. And battling a 2-strike count, pulled a couple foul, had a couple borderline pitches to get to the slider right there, and goes the other way deep enough to score Danny Espinosa. And with Ross Detweiler on deck, that at-bat was huge. 4th run of the night for the Nats on another clutch at-bat from Kurt Suzuki.
3-run lead now, right after the Dodgers had made it a 1-run game.
They've done it all year long. The answer. Other team scores, they answer.
Detweiler struck out swinging first time. Off-speed pitch, and Detweiler pops it up to Adrian Gonzalez. Foul ball, 2 outs. The Brewers are coming, and the Nats will face Sean Markham, who's 5-4 behind Edwin Jackson. Tomorrow night, the Saturday day game has Gio going for 20 again against Willie Peralta. And then Sunday, we'll see. Monday, we'll see who pitches for the Nats against Giovanni Gallardo and former Nat Marco Estrada. As Christina reported last night, possibility that Craig Stammen could be starting a game over the weekend. After this first pitch to Worth, we'll get an update from Christina. So what's up, Christina, with the starters after Saturday?
Well, as much as Davey Johnson liked the idea of Craig Stammen coming in to start, he said he's too invaluable in the relieving role that he's in. He'd lose him for 2 or 3 days after. So after Chin-Ming Wong's outing last night, Davey liked what he saw. He's decided to go with him for Sunday. He said, injuries led to some mechanical issues early on, but he liked the way he pitched. The ball had good sink. He likes his competitiveness. He says he worked hard, and he's pitched in big games before, so he likes his chances with Chin-Ming Wong on the mound. And he likes the matchup with the Brewers, too, who he said don't have the luxury of having left-handed hitters like the Dodgers do.
And they are a power-hitting, fastball-hitting club. Maybe the sinker plays well against them. Wong, 2 hits, no runs in 2 1/3 last night. He was the first reliever to keep the Dodgers at bay so the Nats could stage the comeback. Andre Ethier under that fly ball. Big inning for the Nats. 2 runs, 1 of them unearned, and a 4-1 lead. Well, here at Nationals Park, beautiful night, a lot of folks, a lot of activity. And the Nats lead by 3. After 4 innings, our Masson Mobile words of the day, title shot. 29292, text it for your chance to enter and win a lunch with Ryan Zimmerman. Masson, your all-access sports network. Yeah, Masson's got a lot of football, college basketball coming up this fall and winter. Hopefully baseball for a long, long time to take us well into the autumn. Top of the 5th inning. Andre Ethier grounded out to Adam LaRoche, first time up. Inside out swing, and that ball had some spin, and Ryan Zimmerman could not glove it cleanly. One of the few glove errors you will ever see him make. That'll be his 18th error overall this season.
We showed the hook rotation on Danny Espinosa's double down the left field line. This one has some serious inside out rotation. That ball was fighting from one side of Ryan Zimmerman to the other. You know, the perfect spot for an infielder to field a baseball is off his left instep out in front. That ball had inside out spin, went all the way over to his right foot.
And Luis Cruz slamming one into the seats. Hopefully everybody okay.
So watch the ball kind of chase the left field line. See that last hop? I mean, usually you field the ball off your left side. Ryan Zimmerman got handcuffed because of the spin and had to go all the way over to his right side. And that's where the problem started.
And Luis Cruz is very, very concerned about that ball that went into the seats down there. An elderly gentleman just took out a white handkerchief and waved it. I hope that means all's well rather than he surrenders.
Well, that was an anti-rally napkin, I think, because the Dodgers are hitting.
Paco Rodriguez.
I hope he comes in because I just like saying his name.
66 pitches for Chris Capuano, by the way, through 4. And Ash just put him through a 20-pitch 4th inning. And Detweiler on 0-2 goes upstairs to a dangerous-looking Luis Cruz. Flied to right tonight, first time.
Check out all the heaters. 93%. 91%. Can you put that thing on pause if I'm going to say it, please?
We're updating the tote board as it goes. Desmond, quick relay, bounces the throw. Adam LaRoche with an amazing pick. Ethier really went after Desmond, and the Nats turn a very nice 1-6-3.
You want to know why Adam LaRoche is going to win the Gold Glove at first base? Not should. Right here. Watch this pick. In between, hop given with it. I mean, I can't tell you how hard this one is, folks. That's just as good as it gets. He knows where it's going to be. Doesn't really have the luxury to look it into his glove because it's off to the side. But watch him give with this ball and just know where it's going to end up in his glove. How good is that? He is going to win the Gold Glove.
I'm with you. If he doesn't, it's a crime. It is his time. Bases empty, 2 outs. A.J. Ellis. And Detweiler throws a fastball beyond his reach. Serious damage. Pop up. LaRoche. Inning over. Halfway through the game, Ross Detweiler doing a great job. Bryce Harper, Zimmerman, and LaRoche straight ahead. hitting Milwaukee Brewers will be. Sean Markham goes. He's 5-4. Edwin Jackson looking for win number 10. And July 26th at Milwaukee, he shut out the Brewers on a 7-inning appearance that was outstanding. The Nats won 3 out of 4 at Miller Park. 6:30 Nats Extra. First pitch 7:05 on Masson 2 HD. Now that double play just destroyed the 5th inning for the Dodgers, and now bottom half 2-3-4 for the Nats. Discover Kia and the full lineup of high quality, stylish and dependable vehicles. To learn more, visit kia.com. So the most extra base hits by a teenager in a season. Harper has the record for that.
And that's some kind of record to have. Check out the years: 1935, 1928, 1964, and 1936. It's been a while.
Phil Cavarretta played for the Cubs in his career for nearly 20 years, then the White Sox. Later managed the Cubs. He was a 4-time All-Star. So then you look at Mel Ott. My gosh, the names that Bryce is brushing up against in his rookie year. Very impressive. Harper 0 for 2 tonight. Fly ball to left and a bouncing ball to first, when Adrian Gonzalez robbed him of a base hit on a high bouncer. Counts even 1-1. .78 on the off speed. This will be it for Capuano most probably. He's due to lead off in the 6th. They've had their bullpen busy for a while. And now for the Dodgers, Matt Guerrier, after they had Paco Rodriguez up. Target is up. Dodgers are ready to throw the ball around the horn. Alan Porter says no swing. 3-2. A.J. Ellis popped up to throw the ball down to Luis Cruz.
I think Ellis wanted the call. I think that's why he was throwing, not the swing. It looks like he held.
Kinetic North America on the pitch track, from the warfighter in the field to the data in the cloud. We protect our country's most critical assets. 3-2 to Harper with a target away. And Bryce lines it right into the glove of Capuano.
That's just reflex. Watch this. Oh. Had it all the way, right? This will give you a good look on the Exmo. Wow, that was self-defense, threw the glove up, caught it. Great play. Wow.
Man, you really get the brunt of that one when you see it in real speed.
I like the way he charged it.
Here's Zimmerman, 1 for 2 with that big double. Off-speed pitch in there. So Ryan's batting average holding at 285. RBI total at 86. When you consider the time he missed and the problems he had with that shoulder, that's a very impressive total of runs batted in.
I can't imagine what it's like for a pitcher being 60 feet 6 inches away and having a ball come back at you that hard. I mean, it's scary enough as an infielder to get your toes on the grass with the infield in and a runner on third to be that close. To have a ball whistle back at you. That ball was 100 miles an hour plus coming back at Capuano.
And then that one is a little softer. Hanley Ramirez on the scoop, and he played it pretty well. Two outs here in the fifth with Adam LaRoche on the way. Check out DASDAQ.com for mobile ordering when you're here at the ballpark. Delivery to your seats in minutes. Go to DASDAQ.com/Nats.
Yeah, order up Carp. He'll come down there and sit with you for an inning. He's on that app.
If there's food, it's possible. Adam LaRoche, strikeout, ground ball, 0 for 2. Good breaking ball. The Phillies game now in the fifth inning. They've nearly caught up to this one. Top of the fifth, 8-0 Phils. All of that in the first inning. And they have a chance to remain 4 back in the wild card race at the end of the night. Pittsburgh Pirates, by the way, with that loss tonight, they're now under 500 for the first time in quite a while. Ross Detweiler pitching an outstanding game for the Nats so far. And LaRoche punched out on a similar pitch back in the first. Takes it this time. Gets the ball 2 call. Off speed, counts full.
And on that strikeout, probably the most emotion I've seen from Adam LaRoche all season long, the reaction to the call.
Yeah, maybe the only other exception, that ridiculous play in Atlanta the other night when he was on the bag and got called for being off. St. Louis won today. Dodgers trailing. Brewers won. Phillies are winning big.
It's just tough to leapfrog 3 teams if you're Philadelphia this late in the year. Probably not going to happen.
They got to play the Nats 6 times.
And you don't get fooled by the 4.5 games. It's the teams in front of you that you have to pass to get to the wild card.
Yep.
If it's 4.5 and the team in front of you, there's one team in front of you, well, man, that might be doable. Tough, but doable. There's 3 teams in front of you that you have to jump over. Now it's even tougher.
Oakland took the lead in the wild card race today in the American League, just by a half game over the Orioles. And a swing and a miss. Should be it for Capuano, who goes 5 innings and preserved himself for his next start. The old chuck and duck, and he managed to glove it as well. Under the mobile out there in the concourse, fans milling about. They'll all be in their seats if this thing holds up come the ninth inning. The Nats have a chance to make some history for our city tonight. But Ross Detweiler has really set a great tone by just coming out and attacking the Dodger hitters early.
Very aggressive with the fastball. It's had good velocity, good command into righties, making them aware of the fastball in. Now you got to start your swing early. Anything away is tough to get to. Anything soft is tough to stay back on. So, yeah, so far so good for Detweiler. Maybe the best stuff he's had this year.
And even though he hasn't driven in any runs or scored any runs, Jason Worth getting on base a couple of times early put a lot of pressure on Chris Capuano.
Well, you just feel like if Jason Worth gets on a consistent basis, this team's hard to beat. It kind of sets the stage for Bryce Harper behind him, and everything after that falls into place.
Elian Herrera, first appearance of the series. A switch hitter who bats for Capuano here. Herrera, 27 years of age, out of San Pedro de Macorís of the Dominican. And he hit .341 at AAA Albuquerque for the Dodgers this year, with 20 doubles and 40 RBIs. And Ross Detweiler goes after him. Herrera from the right side, 266, 249 overall, and a strike. Top of the order next. And Mark Ellis, who homered last time.
And a fastball again from Detweiler, and just misses the jersey and the front arm of Herrera.
It's getting to that time of the night when he should be getting a call. But he'll walk Herrera, leading off the sixth. First walk of the night. Dodgers don't have a whole lot going on in their box score. Mark Ellis coming up. He homered last time, leading off the fourth, his seventh of the year. 2 outs later, Adrian Gonzalez with a base hit, and that's it for their offense. Well, Guerrero was throwing for a long time, and now it's Jamie Wright.
A good two-seam fastball down and away. Try to get that ground ball on the right side.
Herrera, 4 stolen bases and 6 attempts in limited action at the big league level. Nats have turned one double play tonight. Ellis has hit into 5 of them. Detweiler's forte when he's going well is getting some ground balls. Not the same kind of ground ball pitcher that a John Lannon is when John's effective. But he's had a number of outs on the ground tonight. Couple of walks in the 3rd inning. Trouble for John last night. He was working on long rest too. Sometimes for sinker ball guys, that's not the greatest thing in the world. Those 3 wins he has for this ball club this year, though, huge. Now another long count, 3-2.
And that might take the double play off right here if Don Mattingly decides to start the runner. Down by 3, I don't know. Let's see what he does.
And a high fly to left. It'll play for Michael Morse. Considering the hitters coming up, that's a big out. Slots, tables, and dining, the ultimate triple play. Hollywood Casino. Charlestown Races looking at low ERA since August 1st. The Nats at 2.41. Second in this league to that crazy staff of Atlanta, the way they've been going, with Chris Medlin leading the way. The Nats still have the best overall mark in baseball as a staff, 3.28. Now Craig Stammen working. Shane Victorino's 0 for 2, ground ball to short, and a swinging strikeout on a pitch in the dirt.
And 77th pitch of the night from Detweiler right there. 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
Zimmerman grabs it. Off-speed pitch in on the hands of Victorino. And for a moment, he thought he had a line drive down the line.
And not so fast. Cat-like reflexes once again from Ryan Zimmerman. Ready for the baseball. That's that simple. It's an interesting matchup right here all of a sudden. Done a nice job with Matt Kemp up to this point. Strike out, pop up to second base.
Yeah, the good news is Kemp cannot tie the game. Matt Kemp, career against Ross Detweiler, 2 for 8.
First pitch changeup. And Matt Kemp, we talked about the shoulder issue with him running the wall a couple of times. And that's one of those things where as a player you start compensating for something that's hurting and you get into bad habits as a hitter.
One hopper, Desmond diving. He'll just have to hold on. And the Dodgers have 2 on, 2 out. No chance for a throw anywhere after that long piece of athletic ability. That was something.
Yeah, great effort by Desmond right here. One hopper, top spin lob off the bat of Matt Kemp. Keeping it in the infield. Nothing you can really do. Herrera can run, but just a nice stop by Ian Desmond. And they say, well, why did he dive for it? He knew he wasn't going to have a play. Well, that's just the way he plays number one. And pitchers love to see guys doing that kind of stuff behind him. And Steve McCaddy going to take a trip out there.
Yeah, really the first inning tonight where Ross seems to be laboring just a bit. He's been so smooth. Ball's been exploding out of his hand. 63 pitches in 5 innings. And right now he's at 80 pitches with 2 outs in the 6th. Not a problem there. Michael Gonzalez has now joined Christian Garcia, who replaces Craig Stammen out there.
Everybody getting in the act right now.
I mean, these managers have so many pitchers at their disposal in these September games. They'll warm up one guy for 2 minutes, then he sits down, somebody else pops up from the same side.
I think Christian Garcia threw about 7 innings down there last night.
I asked him today, have you been busy enough in your first couple of weeks in the big leagues? And he just laughed. He said, it's been great.
Davey Johnson's new toy. Throws 98.
Yeah, that's a power toy. He's got some serious ability. And here's Gonzalez, 1 for 2. Ross jams him for a strike.
And Gonzalez did a nice job of working to a 3-1 count last time up. Got a fastball down the way, lined it into left center field. This time up, Detweiler goes to that 2-seam fastball in first pitch. And at 91-92 this inning. He's been sitting at 95-96 the previous 5.
Busted bat. That is severe damage. And the top of the 6th is over. The Dodgers have stranded only 2 runners tonight. Haven't had that many. And a great outing for Detweiler. We'll see if it continues into the night. Of Arlington and Mercedes-Benz of Alexandria. So Ian Desmond, an active night. Ryan Zimmerman, a big double that opened things up early. Ross Detweiler, 6 good innings, 82 pitches. And the Nats running. They've got some offense and some excitement going tonight.
Well, they've been really aggressive on the base pass. I mean, just they come to play baseball every single night, but taking the extra base, hustling everywhere. Just kind of get the vibe that they can feel what's going on. A good read by Ryan Zimmerman right there. Espinoza hustling to second base. Ian Desmond scores on that play, but not satisfied with 2. Sees the ricochet right here and advances to third. So just hustle all over the place so far in this game for the Nats, and we've seen it all year long. What new?
Well, the dugout would indicate that Ross Detweiler is done for the night. Hugs all over the place. That's Gio Gonzalez, the hooded wonder there.
He's not been feeling good. Got the hood on, trying to stay warm.
1 run on 3 hits in 6 innings tonight. Ross has always pitched pretty well against the Dodgers. Michael Morse gets jammed. Bottom of the 6th underway. Luis Cruz throws him out. First pitch from Jamie Wright, who hasn't given up anything in his last 12 appearances since August 30th. Nearly 12 innings and only 6 hits, no runs over that time. By the way, 1 walk for Detweiler in those 6 innings. And he struck out 5. All of those happened in the first 4 innings. So Ross Detweiler is in line to become another of the Nats' double-figure winners. And Edwin Jackson will get another shot against Milwaukee tomorrow night. Desmond base hit, walk, and a run scored tonight. That almost looked like he was expecting first pitch breaking ball.
Well, he got the curveball right there from Jamie Wright. It'll be in the upper 70s. He's got a 2-seam fastball with good sink on it in the low 90s. Occasional slider. Likes the cutter. Throws it 22% of the time, around 90.
Yeah, 1-0 breaking ball there, and he didn't look like he was on it. His batting average is up to .295 now. Pretty good pitch, just missing. Desmond's career batting average coming into this season, his third full in the big leagues, is .262. Looked better off the grid than it did on. Ooh.
Synchronized ooze.
Both announcers went ooh.
Well, that was a hanger. Jamie Wright's slider that didn't slide up in the letters for Ian Desmond. He put a good hack on it.
Got to have a pretty good year to raise your career batting average by 9 points. And a ball driven out of play right side.
Well, the Dodgers people were asking me today, how does he have 23 home runs when he missed that much time? And I said, well, if he hadn't have missed that much time, he'd be right smack dab in the middle of the MVP conversation for the National League.
Yes, he would.
I mean, he was on his way before the All-Star break, had the oblique, had to sit out all that time. You just think he might be right around 30 home runs right now. Who knows? And close to 100 RBIs and 300.
Breaking ball taken outside, counts full. Danny Espinosa, big RBI double. That bouncer right down the chalk line. Left field, last time up. He ended up at third on Hanley Ramirez throwing error, then scored the unearned run when Suzuki sac flied him home. Desmond to the hole, base hit. About a topspin, and that baby scooted right through there. And on his birthday, Ian Desmond's having a perfect night with 2 singles around a walk.
He can just flat out hit. It's that simple.
That's Nationals' 7th hit of the night. Desmond 2, Worth 2. He's been a pest on the bases. And then the RBIs, of course, from Ryan Zimmerman, the double in the 3rd. Danny Espinosa, a double in the 4th. And Suzuki, the sac fly. Other runs scored. Ryan back in the 3rd on the wild pitch. Hey, by the way, his career batting average just went up another point. He's at .272.
It's his birthday. It should.
Not bad for an old man of 27. Ian doesn't care about the hits and all that. I know what he wants for his birthday. That's a spot in the playoffs.
And to get back safe on a good move. Jamie Wright has one of the better right-handed pickoff moves you'll ever see in baseball. Watch this. Quick feet, quick throw. I mean, there's left-handers that wish they had Jamie Wright's move. It's deadly.
Danny having a great series. He's 4 for 7 against the Dodgers in 2 starts and 1 pinch hitting appearance. And Desmond was walking off the bag again.
I mean, you have to get out there early. The quick feet that Jamie Wright has and the velocity of his throw, the quick arm stroke and the accuracy. I mean, he wasn't even that far off, and it was close. I just go foot on the bag. Go Little League rules. Ball crosses home plate. I'll get off.
Desmond 17 steals on the year and 23 attempts. And that ball hit to right. Mark Ellis. Danny Espinosa got jammed. And that's 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th with Kurt Suzuki coming up. Just beyond 9 o'clock here at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. 3 some innings away from some history here, as the Nats' magic number for making a postseason play is 1. They could also knock down the East Division crown magic number to 8 with the Braves not playing tonight.
I'm being told that Jamie Wright in his career has 61 pickoffs.
He's been real close to 62 twice.
And for a right-hander, that's ridiculous. I don't care how long you play.
A heralded Rocky back in '96 when he's made his debut. He's never had a winning season of any consequence in the big leagues except 1 year with Texas when he went 8-7. A lot of injury problems over the years.
Watch the eyes. That's the key to the pickoff move. You're going to play a little peek over the shoulder here without turning his head. The game within the game, trying to keep Desmond close at first.
Trying to keep this a 3-run game.
There's the eyes peeking over them.
There he goes, Desmond. With the jump, safe. Number 18 for Ian. Scoring position, 2 outs.
I'm interested to see this replay. Mark Ellis doesn't show a whole lot of emotion on the baseball field toward umpires, and he slammed the ball in his glove and said, wow, is this close? And he got him right around the forearm, maybe close to the elbow, but was the hand in there? This will show it right here. Ooh.
Oh, looked like hand on bag first.
I just went by Ellis's reaction. Both Ellis's. Ellis to Ellis right there, and Desmond steals the bag.
Well, they got a pitch to Suzuki here, 1-1, because there's a shark on deck to hit for Detweiler. And Kurt will pop it up. Over in foul ground, Adrian Gonzalez. That's it for the Nats in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's up to the bullpen the rest of the way in a 4-1 game. W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason? So through 6, the Nats looking good. Out hitting the Dodgers 7-3 and leading 4-1 behind Ross Detweiler. Christian Garcia will get the call here. And for the rookie, this call to the bullpen packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Davey Johnson and Steve McCaddy had put him to work. This will be his 8th game with a 1.5 ERA. In 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, only 4 hits.
And his 3 pitches, pretty deadly. Fastball in the mid to upper 90s. Good sink on the 2-seam variety. Got a curveball in the 80s. And a changeup that goes about 85, 86 with late tail.
For the Dodgers, Hanley Ramirez, Andre Ethier, and Luis Cruz. None of the Dodgers have seen the Nats' new right-hander, who's battled through a couple of Tommy John surgeries and at the age of 27 has made it to the big leagues.
Just kind of shows you where we're at from a medical standpoint in today's game. Chris Capuano, the starting pitcher for the Dodgers today, 2 Tommy John surgeries. Now Christian Garcia too.
I actually worked 1 year with Tommy John in Minnesota in 1994 and found him to be one of the most interesting guys I've ever worked with. Great baseball man, great knowledge of how to pitch. And FP, if you remember him, he didn't throw hard. Even before his surgery, not a fireballer. He pitched for what, a dozen or so years after his surgery, and was an amazing guy even late in his career, the way he could outthink hitters and get them out.
I still remember that broadcast you guys did together where he turned to you and said, they're going to name a surgery after me someday.
Well, I'll tell you what, they already had named it after him back then. There's Paco Rodriguez. I just go ring announcer every time I see him warm it up.
Fun to say. 2
balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, Ramirez stabbed by Zimmerman. To LaRoche. 1 out, top of the 7th.
In between hop, backhand side. Unbelievable play once again from Ryan Zimmerman. Watch the in between hop right there. That's tough. Gives with it a little bit. Inside spin move this time. Throw right on the money to LaRoche. Doesn't get much better than that. Going to your backhand side and an in between hop. You see him give with the baseball. You're not getting the hop you want. So how do you create a longer hop? You give with the ball to create that big hop and stab it. Nice play. Wow.
You know, and he had the error 2 innings ago. Some other things have gone wrong this year. Nothing will ever take away from the way he plays third base more aggressively than anybody in the game. I mean, forget the 18 errors. Add up the hits taken away.
The extra base hits taken away because they get by you at third. They're doubles.
Yeah, it's just amazing what he does over there.
Good changeup.
That's a pretty devastating weapon on a left-handed hitter. Andre Ethier reached on that Zimmerman error, a ball that was spinning severely, and it looked to me like it hit the lip of the grass on the way to him. Then he grounded out before that in the 2nd. And there's a Kenley Jansen sighting here. Closer who's had some medical issues this year.
With that nasty curveball again. I should say nasty changeup again, or he could go with that nasty curveball. He's got options right here after that fastball in.
Turn that one over, 87. How about another changeup and a strikeout, 2 down.
I mean, The fastball's good, the curveball's good, but the changeup is ridiculous from Garcia. I mean, the late break down and away, the fade on it, and look at him get inside of that pitch. That puts a lot of torque on your arm, boy, but just turning that changeup over, almost got screwball action on it. Great pitch. I think that's his best pitch.
Luis Cruz, fly ball to right and a 1-6-3 double play ball. Now Garcia goes 96 to get ahead.
Did you say a guy that throws 98 his best pitch is his changeup?
Sure. It's been said about Strasburg.
Yeah.
I think Gio's starting to feel a little better.
He is. And that's a pumping up speech right there.
You ever having a bad day, just find Gio Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. Looked like a breaking ball away from the right-hander. What an inning for Christian Garcia. Great play by Zimmerman. 2 strikeouts. This is time to stretch. Brought to you by Dodge. Go to Dodge.com or visit your local Dodge dealer tomorrow. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible.
Starting to feel like a little bit different atmosphere in this place tonight all of a sudden.
It's feeling a little electric here. There are 6 outs to get. They're starting to feel it. And a good crowd tonight, 30,359 in Nationals Park.
They're starting to feel it. We're starting to feel it. I talked about it last night. You play in this organization, in this franchise for 10 years, and you're in it too as a broadcaster. It's a special night. It really is.
Well, next year you can be part of a 20-game partial season ticket plan. Now that the schedule's out, go to nationals.com/2013 or call 202-675-NATS. Some restrictions do apply. There's another guy with a birthday, 24-year-old Steve Lombardozzi, pinch hitting here. Bottom of the 7th.
Looks like Don Mattingly's going to turn him around to the right side.
So Jamie Wright will go 1 inning. Hey, these fans know what's going on. So righty lefty straight ahead for Lombardozzi. Bottom of the 7th. Steve Lombardozzi about to hit against the left-hander Paco Rodriguez. For solutions that help you achieve your financial goals, PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. And the all-stars from Baseball America just keep on coming for the Nats organization. At Auburn, the Double Days. Low A ball up in New York, Robert Benincasa. 16 ball games, 32 strikeouts, and a 2-0 record with a 3.09 ERA.
He's been over to your house.
Mi casa as his casa.
Let's check out long ball Lombardozzi last night. Second home run of the 8th inning. Got a cutter from Josh Beckett on the inner half. Dropped the head on it for a home run that lit this crowd up, lit the team up, lit the dugout up, and that's when you start thinking, hey, they're going to come back and win this thing. Fell short, but a nice fight.
Lombardozzi turns on that one. Paco Rodriguez through 2/3 scoreless with an intentional walk here on game 1 yesterday. Nats went on to win it 3-1.
A 4-pitch guy, fastball, slider, cutter, change. Fastball in the low 90s.
They retired Tyler Moore and Bryce Harper. He was just drafted out of the University of Florida this year. Second round, 82nd player taken overall. So a Gator in the big leagues very quickly.
There's Gators everywhere here. Eckstein, Mark Ellis, Paco Rodriguez,
Acra.
Christina Acra.
It's an infestation of Gators.
It is. Hurricanes don't like that.
You've had your share of guys in the big leagues. Two balls and 2 strikes to Lombardozzi, who's hitting .236 from the right side this year. And a pitch diving down and away, held on by A.J. Ellis for the first out. Top of the order now, and the troublesome to the Dodgers, Jason Worth coming up.
A 2-seam fastball. Look at the sink on that.
Ryan Matthews getting ready for the 8th. Well, it looks like the Nats are really onto something with Christian Garcia.
I think it's a guy that has a really good chance of making the playoff roster.
Love his demeanor. He's a Miami guy out of Gulliver Prep High School in Florida. After a bunch of years in the Yankee organization, signed as a minor league free agent by the Nats in the middle of the summer last year, July 21st. Way outside to Worth, 3-0. He may be about to torment the Dodgers on the base again. With Bryce Harper coming up. I've noticed one thing in the ballpark tonight. In anticipation of something happening, the President's Club seats as full as I've seen them in a long, long time. A lot of folks wanting to be down near the action tonight. (3-1) to Worth. He's aboard again.
Larry leadoff doing it again 3 times tonight.
Could be running. He swiped one tonight, although there's a lefty staring at him. We don't know much about Paco Rodriguez and his move. We'll find out maybe right here. Lefty-lefty matchup with Bryce Harper, who Rodriguez, during game one yesterday, grounded out to first.
I just think as you move toward the end of September into October, huge key for the Nats is Jason Worth and Bryce Harper at the top of the order. Those two guys get on, everything else falls into place like dominoes behind them.
First pitch breaking ball at 88. And a breaking ball or a cutter, that's awfully hard for a breaker.
I guarantee you, if you talk to Davey Johnson about that, when he won a World Series in New York with Dykstra and Backman at the top of the order, those two guys are the table setters for everybody else. You get speed on, you get guys that can run the bases on, puts pressure on the pitcher. Now he hangs something to Zimmerman, LaRoche, or Morse. Look out.
Yeah, Gary Carter and Ray Knight chewed up a lot of those RBIs. Keith Hernandez.
You get guys on that you have to think about maybe stealing. And we talked about Gary Carter. He would love this ball club. He just puts pressure on the pitcher. He can't just be free and easy and carve through a lineup. He's got to think about, hey, this is Bryce Harper, Jason Worth on first. You got a lot going on. Like that. Start thinking about the runner. You leave something out over. Instant offense.
Oh, 2 to Harper. Short lead by Worth.
And the biggest stat, in my opinion, in playoff baseball is batting average with runners in scoring position. It's crucial. Clutch hits.
Situations that don't come up like they do during the regular season, do they?
When they're there, you have to take advantage of them.
On a big breaking ball, a strikeout. 2 Ks in the inning for Rodriguez. Ryan Zimmerman coming up, and here comes Don Mattingly. Kenley Jansen's been warming up. The Nats saw him back in April when he was closing for the Dodgers, and he is imposing, to say the least. Power matchup coming. Rodriguez does a good job. Zimmerman next. A lot of steps to take to get to that point. First order of business getting into the playoffs and then grabbing the East flag.
I'm in. All in.
Your Washington area Lexus dealers are in. $200 for every home run this season. And they donate that to the Children's National Medical Center. So they've done that 175 times this year, as the Nats have set a new Nationals and franchise record for home runs in a season. This is a big man who can throw hard. Kenley Jansen hasn't pitched since August 27th. When he was the closer, he was 25 for 31 in saves this year.
Yeah, two-pitch guy, fastball in the low 90s. It'll cut all over the place, and he's got a slider to go with it. Throws a natural cutter, a lot like Mariano Rivera. Just runs away from right-handers, but it's his fastball.
Ryan Zimmerman was not in the lineup in that series in L.A. Steve Lombardozzi got all the starts at third base, so these two haven't seen each other in quite some time. Zimmerman 0 for 4 against Jansen.
If I remember, he's pretty deliberate to the plate.
Worth at first, 2 outs, bottom 7. The Nats lead 4-1. He'll have a birthday next week to turn 25, Jansen will. He's 6'5", 260 from Curacao. Great jump by Worth. Don't even throw. Second steal of the night. And Jason Worth 7 for 7 on the year.
Yeah, I remember, right? And there's keys for certain guys. And Jansen's a front shoulder guy. See how the hands are set up high. As soon as his front shoulder turns toward home plate, you go. Great jump by Worth to get into scoring position.
Zimmerman up the middle. Pitcher deflects. Ellis pounces. And it's a 1-4-3 to end the bottom of the 7th inning. Ryan Matthews poised for the 8th. Here come the Nats. 6 outs to get.
Four to 1. Now let's check out Christian Garcia's night. And this guy is going to be getting some big innings coming up here down the stretch. Might have a chance to make the playoff roster. That'd be better than might. And I think that first play from Ryan Zimmerman loosened him up a little bit. You get that first out right, then you get to your nasty stuff, the changeup right there. to Cruz to strike him out, and Christian Garcia doing it again. His stuff tonight was disgusting.
Is that worse than filthy?
Yeah.
Washington area Toyota dealers helping children receiving medical treatment at the National Institutes of Health with their families at their sides. So for every strikeout, $37 donated to the Children's Inn at NIH. Top 8, A.J. Ellis, Bobby Abreu on deck, and then Mark Ellis. So for Ryan Matthews now, appearance number 61.
2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, low to mid-90s, slider split to go with it.
The third most appearances on the staff, by the way, behind Burnett and Clippard. Ellis, left side, Zimmerman right there to scoop it up. To LaRoche for the out. Catch all the action of the 2012 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. It all begins October 5th with the wild card on TBS.
And you and I and Christina will be involved in the postseason, doing pregame, postgame stuff from the ballpark. At home, on the road.
Masson scheduled for at least an hour of pre and post game coverage for every layoff game. Here's Bobby Abreu. Pinch hit in the 9th inning. First game yesterday and lined out hard to right against Tyler Clippard, who 2 outs later had his 32nd save. He's had a nice career, Bobby Abreu. Starting with the Astros back in '96. Taken in the expansion draft by Tampa Bay, traded to Philadelphia, where he would play for 7 years. Actually 8 years there, and then on to the Yankees for a couple, Angels. The last 3.5 seasons. He's got a base hit to left. Randy Choate, the former Marlin, and right-hander Sean Tollison for the Dodgers. Top of the order now, Mark Ellis. Homered for their only run, leading off the 4th against Ross Detweiler.
I'm thinking if you're the Dodgers right now and you look out the scoreboard and see that St. Louis won 5-4, are you pressing a little bit? That'll be a little sense of urgency for this ball club.
Well, and now the Brewers won. They're tied with the Dodgers at the moment. The Phillies on their heels won, are at least winning big in the 8th inning. That battle for that second wild card spot is going to be insane.
Ryan Matthews will make you foul the ball off your leg. We see it once an outing with him. That turbo sinker of his, diving down and into right-handers. Tough to keep fair, tough to keep off your body.
Fastball is up and in. 2-1.
I actually think the slower that Ryan Matthews throws his sinker, the more sink it has. Lately he's been throwing it in the lower 90s versus the mid 90s. He's getting a lot of action on it.
Shane Victorino next here in the 8th. This ball game through the 8th and the 9th will take the Nationals and the Dodgers through the heart of their batting order one more time. Sean Burnett's been throwing for a while.
He looks nervous.
I've been there, done that. And a 2-2. Way in on the hands of Mark Ellis. Looking down the lineup. Victorino's a better hitter right-handed, so you figure he's getting ready eventually for Adrian Gonzalez, who's still 3 hitters away. Nats can do a lot of mixing and matching here with Burnett, Storen, and Clippard. That ball caught on a fly by Zimmerman. Abreu stayed home so that Ryan did not venture a throw. 2 outs. Boy, it has been the hot corner tonight.
Tons of action down there for Ryan Zimmerman. Tough to tell up here for us. I thought that ball might have hopped. But a sinking line drive right at his feet, catches it. Like you said, good read by Abreu at first to get back.
Shane Victorino. Zimmerman will play shallow at third base. And LaRoche moving a little bit behind the runner here. Shane Victorino could lay down a bunt and get Matt Kemp to the plate as the tying run. Instead, he's going to swing away and pop it into left. And now the countdown is down to 3 outs.
It's not a good at bat. You got to try to work your way on like a leadoff hitter right there to get the game to Matt Kemp.
Bottom of the 8th coming up, and the crowd likes it. The Nats on top by 3. LaRoche, Morse, Desmond. And the Nats on top by 3. Love to add another run or 2 here if they can. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Left-hander Randy Choate came over with Hanley Ramirez from Miami. 32 games now as a Dodger with a 4.50 ERA, but for the season his overall earned run average a good one at 3.13. Hard to hit. 212 opponents at batting average by the league this year.
Yeah, lefties 165.
Adam LaRoche 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts, a ground ball. He has contributed mightily with his glove tonight.
Semi-breaking news that Drew Storn is up in the Nats bullpen for the 9th.
Well, first batter is a man who homered off Tyler Clippard last night.
Well, he's just been throwing the daylights out of the ball lately.
And Clippard did pitch in both ends of the doubleheader last night. Adam LaRoche on the ground sharply to Mark Ellis for the first out. Four-game series coming up with Milwaukee, and that'll be interesting to say the least, as the Nats will try to whittle down that division-winning magic number. Brewers won again today. They are playing good baseball. They have the same record as the Dodgers, 77 and 72. So come and join us at Nationals Park. Don Mattingly going to go through most of his bullpen here tonight, with Michael Morse coming up, a right-hander on the way here in the 8th. And the Nats have been ready as well. Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, Mel Anton, and Phil Wood ready for you tomorrow. We're hoping it's beyond the push for the playoffs and a push to win the division. That'll be on the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report tomorrow from 5 to 6:30. Updates on the rest of the National League's top playoff contenders. Michael Morse will face Sean Tollison now, who is the 6th Dodger pitcher of the night.
Two-pitch guy, fastball, slider, fastball in the low 90s. Got some sink to it.
Michael Morse
had to lay out for the high note right there before I got to the slider.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Morse faced Tollison, 5th inning yesterday. First game, hit into a double play. One out here in the 8th. Morse and Desmond to bat. Way inside. They're in the top of the 9th at New York. Phillies 9, Mets 1. So the Phillies breathing down the necks of the Dodgers. So are the Brewers, who would actually move ahead of them if the Nats hold on to beat LA right here. Ian Desmond celebrating his birthday in grand style with 2 hits, a stolen base, a walk, and a run scored. 2 outs.
Hey, elevator fastball, 94 miles an hour from Tollison. He got a big arm.
On the Kinetic North America pitch track, and here comes Desmond. The Nats are trying to win their 91st game of the year, tied the Reds for the most in baseball, and clinch a playoff spot. Breaking ball, a swing and a miss. By the way, in the ninth, and some would say old Abner Doubleday has done it again. Kemp, Gonzalez, Ramirez, the do-ups against Drew Storen. You know his heart's beating right now.
Mine is.
Here we go. Desmond strikes out. 3-4-5 for the Dodgers. Nats fans, are you ready for the top of the ninth? Drew Storen with the most important outing of his career straight ahead. Making some history. They lead 4-1 over the Dodgers. And when this one's over, we invite you to stay tuned for the Nats Extra postgame show presented by WB Mason. Byron Kerr, Ray Knight in the house. And Drew Storen will get the assignment. The Nats go for some defense with Roger Bernardina in left field on a double switch. And Drew Storen.
Dodgers are going to see 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, mid-90s, touch 97, 98 on occasion. Slider and an occasional change to go with that slider to lefties. Now throw it to righties too sometimes. And here we go.
Crowd a little quiet right now. Matt Kemp leads off. Good news is it's a 3-run lead. This man can do nothing to tie the game. He won it for the Dodgers in the ninth last night with a leadoff homer against Tyler Clippard.
'96 out of bed.
Storen pitched a scoreless 8th inning in game 1 yesterday. Gave up a base hit to Hanley Ramirez. He has never faced Matt Kemp. No balls, 1 strike. That is a nasty slider, forcing a check swing. Strike 2.
When you watch the late break, watch how tight this slider is. First one from Drew Storen, a dandy. And Matt Kemp tried to hold up, but couldn't.
And he goes with a fastball, misses low and away, 97. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Drew Storen, 2 saves this year in his return. 43 last year. That's a slider that had Kemp leaning a bit, but he took it. Ball 2.
And I don't know how he took it. What a great take right there by Matt Kemp. That slider played for a strike for a long time.
A murderer's row of Dodgers here in the top of the 9th. Going with the breaking ball again. Now it's 3-2.
Excuse me, Kemp is seeing it early.
And a payoff pitch with 2 good hitters coming up. Got in looking. High fastball. Outside corner. Kemp doesn't like it. 1 out.
95 two-seam fastball running back. Absolute paint for the first out here in the 9th. I mean, you can't run it up there and hand it to Kurt Suzuki any better than that at 95 miles an hour. Wow.
Drew Storen now against Adrian Gonzalez, who's 1 for 2 career against him. Some of the fans now starting to stand. 30,359 for this one. And there's some noise coming from the Dodger dugout. And evidently something happening behind the dugout. That's strike 1 to Adrian Gonzalez. Now Storen using that fastball.
And sometimes that two-seamer runs so much, it's hard to get in the strike zone. He'll start it on the outer third, but so much late sink to it. Tough to throw it for a strike. Three two-seam fastballs on the outer half. Do you come back with a slider right here, down and in, back knee job with 2 strikes? So you can drop a killer slider?
Well, if Drew drops one, we will.
Starting to feel it.
Swing and a miss. 2 down.
Changeup. I mean, if you have confidence to go to that pitch against that hitter in that situation, Drew Storen is back, folks.
The magic outs number is down to 1. Hanley Ramirez, for so many years a tormentor of the Washington Nationals, stands in the way. That's a front door breaking ball for a strike. Nationals fans, the wait is over. Your team is in the playoffs. Well, I was told that in 2005, the year before I got here, that on opening night, grown men were walking into RFK Stadium with tears in their eyes at the return of baseball. I would assume there are a few here tonight now that this goal has been achieved. Happy birthday to Ian Desmond and Christina with him downstairs.
Ian, obviously an important step to the ultimate goal for you guys this season, but how big of a step is it just for this team and this franchise as a whole?
It's great. We've come a long way, and a lot of hard work, dedication, and go Nationals.
As this one's winding down, are you feeling a little bit about what's about to happen in a playoff spot be yours at the end of this game if it's a win?
Yeah, we're excited to be in this opportunity. This isn't the clinch that we wanted, so you guys keep on coming out strong. We got a bigger picture in mind, and we're going to keep on playing hard.
How big of a factor have these crowds been in your success this season?
It's been fantastic. You guys have come out and supported us all year long. We appreciate it. Keep on coming strong, and we're going to keep on playing hard for you. And
with this step, does it make you hungrier for the next one and the next one?
We've been hungry since spring training, so we're going to come out and keep on playing the same way we've been playing all year, and we'll see what happens.
Congratulations and happy birthday, Ian. Thanks for talking to us. I think we're going to jump.
Well, what a historic day for the Nationals, and what a birthday for Ian Desmond and Steve Lombardozzi. One of the cool things is, of course, Ian Desmond and Roger Bernardina, the two holdovers from the Montreal days. And now, one of Virginia's finest with Christina Ryan Zimmerman.
Ryan, I know you guys have talked about how this is not the ultimate goal of the season, but how big of a night is this for this franchise?
It's been a long time since we've had a chance to even play one game in the playoffs. So, this is a huge step, but like you said, we have bigger goals, and we got a few more games to win before we can really celebrate.
On a night like like this, does it allow you to step back and kind of put things in perspective of your career with this franchise and this team this season?
Yeah, it's come a long way. Like we said before, I think I can remember being out of it in July and August. So just to be in this position and have these fans and this city have a baseball team to cheer about, it's a lot of fun.
And like I asked Ian, does this step make you guys hungry for the next one and the next one?
Yeah, this is kind of the pre-party, I guess you can say. So hopefully we'll have a bigger party here in a few days and an even bigger party later on in the year.
And not only a big step for this season, but seasons to come with this team at this point.
Yeah, we've taken that leap forward this year. From the second half last year, we started to play well, and to clinch a playoff spot with this team and how far we've come, it's the future is very bright.
And the crowds are definitely helping out, huh?
Oh yeah, keep winning and they'll keep coming out and supporting us, and it's a perfect little situation we got set up here.
Congratulations, Ryan. Thanks for talking to us. Back to you guys.
What a moment for a young man from Virginia Beach who played in Charlottesville for the Cavaliers, drafted by the nearest Major League Baseball team to him. He was in the minors for all of about 2 months back in 2005, and he's been a regular since 2006. So only fitting that Ryan Zimmerman would put into words what a lot of people are feeling right now about the support this team's getting, the crowds, and what's to come and what's still ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about him. He's been here since day one, and you talk about a lot of bad baseball in this town. That's over. I mean, the Nats are going to the playoffs. That's pretty cool. And when you look at the big picture, I think this is the appetizer. This is the calamari.
Yeah.
The filet mignon's coming. So, yeah, a great night. Obviously a historic night for the franchise. And, like I said during the broadcast, it's nice to see all the hard work pay off. You could see it coming last September when everything started to come together and this team learned how to win. They carried it right into spring training. And from day one, you just had a feeling that this was a special bunch. So step one right now, getting in the door. Step two, winning the division, and now that's the next step, obviously.
Yeah, and by the way, the next time you're at the ballpark, the shirts are available, the Natitude shirts with the playoff stuff, and the ball caps the guys were wearing, so you can pick those up whenever you come here to the ballpark. Never quite thought of making the playoffs and being presented with a plate of squid. That'll be awesome.
It's the appetizer, man. The main portion's coming. And, hey, it's not just about getting to the playoffs. When you talk about this ball club, there's a lot better days coming as far as they're going deep into October. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're set up to win and to go deep into the run.
The Nationals have achieved their goal of postseason play. It's been a long wait for many of you at home. We rejoice with you because of your love for the game tonight and how you've waited for this very moment.